She stood right at my gate. Dark sunglasses covered her eyes. A clipboard clutched in her hand like she owned everything in sight. The land, the road, even the mansion rising behind me. That house, 100-year-old masterpiece I had spent months restoring, now glowing under the morning sun. Then her voice cut through the quiet like a blade. You got exactly 24 hours to pay the HOA dues or we'll have this property demolished. I actually laughed. It sounded ridiculous. You got to be joking, I said. This place was abandoned for decades. There's no HOA here. Her lips curled into that tight, artificial smile, the kind that never reaches the eyes. There is now, she replied, lifting a stack of papers. The entire neighborhood is under new management. That includes your mansion. Before I could even respond, a sheriff's truck rolled up, dust swirling behind it. The man stepped out slowly, boots crunching on gravel, one hand resting near his belt like it belonged there. "Sir, we receive a report that you're refusing to comply with HOA orders," he said, his tone flat, his eyes cold. My heart thudded, not out of fear but confusion. Comply, I repeated, with a woman who just showed up claiming she owns my land. Karen folded her arms, chin tilted. "You're trespassing on HOA property, mister. We have every right to enforce compliance." The sheriff gave a slight nod, like he'd already decided how this would go. "You got proof of ownership?" I stepped back, glancing at the old brass plaque I had polished myself. Registered historical property, 1922. "Proof," I said slowly. "Yeah, I've got plenty. But first, since when does an HOA send law enforcement?" Karen smirked. Since I took over, something didn't sit right. The uniform wasn't standard. The badge looked off, and the truck lacked the usual county markings. My gut told me everything I needed to know. This wasn't real law enforcement. Still, I played along. "All right," I said calmly. "You want payment? Let's go inside. I'll grab the paperwork." Her eyes flickered for just a second. "No need for that," she said quickly. "We'll handle this out here." But I was already walking toward the front door, pretending not to notice how closely her so-called sheriff followed. Inside, the security cameras I had installed blinked quietly from every corner. Motion sensors, facial recognition, audio recording. I hadn't just restored an old mansion. I had fortified it. As the door shut behind me, my phone buzzed. A message from my brother. "You were right. Those HOA letters are fake. The company doesn't exist in county records." My pulse steadied. I turned toward the door, their shadows faintly visible through the frosted glass. "All right," I whispered. "Let's see how far you're willing to take this." Then I caught something in the reflection. Karen signaling to the fake sheriff. He reached toward his belt, pulling out a folded paper. But his hand lingered near his holster just long enough to send a message. This wasn't about paperwork. This was intimidation. I opened the door halfway, keeping my phone angled perfectly to record. Karen's voice sharpened instantly. "This property is condemned. You cannot remain here until the HOA inspection is complete." I tilted my head. "Condemned by who?" "You," she snapped, shoving the document toward me. I glanced at it. Bold header, property violation notice. But it was sloppy. The county seal was blurry. The font didn't match. And the date? 2 years old. "Nice try," I said quietly. Her expression tightened. "Are you accusing me of something?" I gave a small smile. "No, just noticing your official notice looks like it came straight from Google." The fake sheriff stepped forward, snatching the paper from her and pointing at me. "You either pay now or we take this to court. HOA dues and penalties, $42,000. $42,000? I almost laughed. For a neighborhood with 3 empty houses and a dirt road. Karen snapped back. "That's the law here." I leaned casually against the doorframe. "I am the law here." She blinked, thrown off. "Excuse me?" "You should have done your homework," I said. "Before restoring this place, I register it under preservation trust. Any legal action goes through the state, not some made-up HOA. The fake sheriff's jaw tightened. He turned to Karen. "You said this guy was a squatter." Her eyes darted. He is. I saw him move in. He's lying. I stepped closer, my voice steady and low. I've got every document. Ownership, taxes, permits, and security footage. I pointed toward the small red light, blinking above the porch. So if you're fake cops, this entire encounter is being recorded. The fake sheriff froze. Karen's expression cracked for a split second, panic leaking through the arrogance. I pulled out my phone and tapped the screen. The feed is already streaming to my attorney's cloud. I said, "You've got 10 seconds to explain who you really work for." Karen hesitated. "You're making a mistake." Then, from the side road, a black SUV came racing in, fast, silent, tinted windows, no plates. The fake sheriff turned sharply toward it. Karen's confidence vanished instantly. "We need to go," she stammered, grabbing his arm. But it was too late. The SUV door opened. A calm, deep voice echoed across the yard. "Ma'am, step away from the homeowner. You're under investigation for property fraud." Karen froze. The fake sheriff's face drained of color, because a real one had just arrived. The real sheriff stepped out, tall and composed, authority in every step. The fake one instinctively backed off, his hand twitching near his belt, but never daring to move further. The air went still. Even the birds fell silent. "Sheriff Dalton, County Enforcement," the man said, flashing his badge. "Care to explain what's going on here?" Karen rushed to speak. "Officer, thank God you're here." This man broke into an abandoned. "Stop," Dalton cut in sharply. "We've been tracking you for weeks. I know exactly who you are, Ms. Reynolds." Her mouth fell open. "What? I'm the HOA president." "No," Dalton said, pulling out a file. "You're the woman creating fake HOA groups to extort homeowners across 3 counties. He pointed to the fake sheriff. "And him? That's your boyfriend, not law enforcement." The man's jaw tightened. "You don't have proof." Dalton smirked. "Actually, I do." He turned his tablet around. Clear footage. Karen and her partner placing fake HOA signs, stamping forged notices, even posing in uniforms that didn't belong to them. Her face went pale. "That's not me," she whispered weakly. I folded my arms. "You picked the wrong mansion, Karen." She turned toward me, fury burning in her eyes. "You set me up." I let out a small laugh. "Set you up? You trespassed, threatened my property, and brought a fake sheriff. I just restored a house. You destroyed your own case." Dalton looked at me. "You did good calling this in. We've had complaints, but never caught her in person. What tipped you off?" I shrugged. "Her badge used Comic Sans." A few deputies chuckled behind him. Karen glared, her confidence crumbling, but her eyes flicked briefly toward the tree line. She wasn't finished. Dalton noticed too. "Don't even think about it." But before he could react, another engine roared to life behind the mansion. Tires screeched. Gravel flew. A black pickup tore down the back road. Dalton cursed. "Her crew is running." Deputies rushed to their vehicles. I turned back to Karen. "Crew." She smiled, a cold, twisted smile. "You really think it's just me?" she said. "You have no idea what you stepped into." Before they could cuff her, she whispered something, too low to catch, but enough to send a chill down my spine. Dalton turned to me, serious now. "Stay inside. Lock your doors. This isn't over." I nodded and stepped back toward the porch. But when I reached the doorknob, I froze. It was slightly open. I knew I had locked it. Someone was already inside. The moment I pushed the door open, the floorboards creaked like a warning. The lights flickered. Dust and fresh paint filled the air, mixed with something metallic. Something wrong. I moved quietly, every step controlled. Then, upstairs, a faint thud. I grabbed the closest thing I could find, a rusted wrench, and started up the stairs. My heart pounded, but my mind stayed sharp. Whoever was inside wasn't here to steal. As I reached the hallway, I saw a shadow slip into the master study, the room where I kept the original blueprints and restoration files. The door creaked open just an inch. I waited. Then I spoke. "You got 10 seconds to walk out. Before I make a call you'll regret." Silence. I reached for the doorknob. The door exploded open. A man lunged at me, mask torn, eyes wide with panic. I swung the wrench, knocking his arm aside. His fake badge flew across the floor. He tried to push past me, but I grabbed his jacket, dragging him into the light. Same fake uniform, same fake badge. Who sent you? I demanded. He hesitated, then whispered, Karen doesn't work alone. The houses, they're all part of it. Before I could ask more, headlights flashed outside. The real sheriff's SUV had returned. The man tried to run, but Dalton's team stormed in, tackling him at the stairs. They cuffed him and searched the house. Within minutes, they found something I hadn't noticed. Behind one of the newly rebuilt basement walls, a sealed metal box. Dalton pried it open carefully. Inside, stacks of forged property titles, fake HOA charters, and hundreds of blank violation forms. Enough to target homeowners across multiple states. He looked at me. You just helped uncover $1 million real estate scam. I exhaled, finally lowering the wrench. Guess this old mansion wasn't just hiding history. I said, it was hiding a crime. Karen and her crew were taken away that night. The mansion fell silent again, but this time it felt different, alive. A week later, I stood on the front porch as a reporter wrapped up her segment. The man who restored a century-old mansion ended up restoring justice too, she said. I gave a faint smile. I didn't do it for fame. I told her. I did it because no one gets to threaten a man on his own land. The camera cut. I looked at the house, sunlight hitting its windows just right, and whispered they tried to destroy it. But instead, this mansion destroyed them. The American flag on the porch swayed in the evening breeze. And I knew one thing for certain. I didn't just rebuild a home. I rebuilt what they forgot this land still stands for: freedom, truth, and the right to fight back.